Okay, so let's talk about the cloud. We all hear that term thrown around constantly, right? Oh, just save it to the cloud. But what does that even mean? It sounds kind of vague, maybe a little magical. Well, today, we're going to pull back the curtain and figure out what exactly the cloud is. Let's get into it. And here's the thing. The cloud isn't some futuristic tech you're waiting for. You're already using it, literally, probably dozens of times a day, and you might not even know it. Think about it. When you binge watch a show on Netflix, that's the cloud. All those photos you back up to iCloud or Google Photos? Yep, cloud. Working with your team on a Google Doc, streaming your favorite playlist on Spotify, even just sending a simple email, all of that is powered by the cloud. None of that stuff actually lives on your phone or your laptop. It's all being delivered to you on demand from the cloud.
Now, to really understand why the cloud is such a big deal, let's move beyond our own phones and look at a business problem. Let's tell a little story.
So, imagine this. We've got a fantastic little e-bike company based in Chandigarh. They make amazing bikes, they're super popular locally, just killing it. But the founder has a bigger vision. They want to go nationwide, maybe even global. The question is, how? How does a small company make that giant leap? Well, the old way, let me tell you, it's a nightmare. They'd have to buy racks and racks of expensive computer servers, rent out a building for them, hire a whole army of IT experts to run it all. I mean, we're talking a massive, slow, and incredibly costly investment before they even sell one bike outside of their city. But there's a new way. A much, much smarter way. And that, you guessed it, is the cloud. The cloud is the key that unlocks this e-bike company's dream. It lets them compete on a global scale without needing a bottomless pit of money. So let's finally put a formal definition to this thing.
So officially, cloud computing is the delivery of all those techie services, servers, storage, databases, you name it, over the internet. But here's the simple way to think about it. Instead of owning all that expensive computer gear yourself, you're essentially renting it from someone else whenever you need it.
So what makes renting so much better than owning in this case? Well, it's not just one thing. The cloud has these, well, I like to call them superpowers. These are the core characteristics that make it so revolutionary.
Now, there are 5 main principles, but we're going to focus on the 4 that totally changed the game for businesses like our e-bike company. That's on-demand service, the pay-as-you-go model, resource pooling, and the big one, scalability.
All right, superpower number 1, on-demand self-service. This is all about instant gratification. It means you can get computing resources whenever you want without having to file a ticket or wait for someone to approve it.
You know this one well. Think about your phone. You get that dreaded storage almost full pop-up. What do? You don't call an engineer. You just go into settings, tap a button to buy more storage from iCloud or Google, and boom. Problem solved in, what, 10 seconds? That's on-demand self-service.
Superpower number 2 is a huge one, especially for finances. Pay as you go. This idea completely flips the old way of doing things on its head.
Let me put it this way. You don't buy a brand new car just to make a single trip to the grocery store, right? That would be insane. You'd be paying a fortune for something you only need for 20 minutes.
Of course not. You just pull out your phone, you book an Ola or an Uber, you use the car for exactly the distance you need, and you pay only for that specific trip. It's efficient. It just makes sense. And that is exactly how the cloud works. It's a utility. You don't build your own power plant at home. You just plug into the grid and pay for the electricity you use. With the cloud, our e-bike company only pays for the server power it's actually using at any given moment. No more paying for idle machines. Okay, next superpower is resource pooling, and the analogy here is just perfect. Think of a hotel swimming pool. The hotel owns the pool, maintains it, and all the guests get to share it. You get to enjoy this amazing, massive pool without having to pay to build one yourself. The cloud is the exact same concept, but instead of a swimming pool, it's a massive, shared pool of servers, storage, and networking. And that brings us to the final and maybe the most critical superpower, especially for a company with big dreams: scalability. This is the ability to grow or shrink on a dime. So, let's go back to our e-bike company in Chandigarh one last time. Imagine the government suddenly announces a ban on all new petrol vehicles. What happens? Their website traffic explodes. It goes from 1,000 orders a day to 1,000,000 orders a day overnight. Does their website just collapse? Not on the cloud. The cloud just handles it. It can automatically scale up, adding more and more power to meet that demand. It can serve 10 million customers just as easily as it served 1,000. That ability to handle explosive growth is why the cloud is the engine behind pretty much every major internet company today.
So who are these companies that own these unbelievable planet-spanning pools of resources? Well, as you can probably guess, they are some of the biggest names in tech.
Really, the market is dominated by three giants. You've got Amazon Web Services, AWS, as the undisputed leader with about a third of the market. Then you have Microsoft's Azure and Google Cloud right behind it. These three companies basically power a massive chunk of the entire internet. And just to give you a sense of how big this business is, get this. Amazon, the giant online store, actually makes more profit from its cloud business, AWS, than from its entire retail empire in North America. Just let that sink in. That's how huge the cloud has become.
So if there is one thing you remember from all this, let it be this right here. The cloud is a massive, fundamental shift. It's a move away from the world of owning complicated, expensive infrastructure, and a move towards a world where we simply rent it, just like a utility, like electricity or water.
And this all leads to a final, pretty deep question to think about. When everything, from our most personal photos to the servers that run our global economy, becomes a rentable service that we just access, it really makes you stop and wonder, in this new cloud-first reality, what do we truly own anymore?